Hi, my name is Ronald Kumar, and in this video you will learn how to safely shut down and secure dust monitors in preparation for a cyclone. I will quickly go through the content of this training video. Firstly, an introduction and company information and its history, products and services, value of skill and where it's used, learning outcomes, cyclone alerts and cyclone categories, dust monitor overview, and a step-by-step guide to shut down the dust monitor. I am a final year electrical engineering student. I started working for Ecotech in December 2014 and am currently employed by them as a lead field service technician. I'm based in Port Hedland in Western Australia, and I have used my full-time work as my placement. Ecotech was established in 1976. It is an Australian family-owned company and is a well-recognized international environmental engineering company. Ecotech is considered as the pioneers in dust, water, air and blast monitoring and analysis. Ecotech's products include dust monitors, gas analyzers, blast and noise analyzers, and MET stations. Its services include data acquisition, predictive software, service and maintenance of all equipment, and reporting. Learning outcomes. At the end of this training video, you should be able to 1. Identify the different types of cyclone alerts, identify the categories of cyclone, safely shut down dust monitors, and lastly, demonstrate steps required to carry out these shutdowns. Values or skills of skill and where it's used. The skills acquired are the safe shutdown of dust monitors, and it is critical training in time of extreme weather. Ecotech has a contractual KPI with its customers to deliver a certain percentage of capture rate from its monitors, and having this safe shutdown skill goes to making sure no equipment damage occurs, hence no downtime. Also, the other important thing is the number of stations to be turned off. There are approximately 90 stations to be turned off, which will require competence and as it has to be done in a limited time frame. Cyclone category. Cyclone season is from the start of November through to April. Cyclone categories range from 1 weak to 5 extreme. Looking at the table, you can see the wind gusts and its effects from each category. Cyclone alerts. There are 3 categories of alerts. Blue, as seen from the table, is when the weather station issues a cyclone warning. When this alert is issued, the shutdown work should commence. Most companies use this alert as a trigger for them to tie down any loose assets. Yellow alert is when the cyclone is probable, and this alert is used as an indication that now all shutdown work should be completed. The time difference between blue and yellow alert could be as small as 24 hours. Red alert is when cyclone danger is imminent. Everyone should take shelter immediately, and most of the companies cease operation when this alert is issued. Dust monitor BAM 1020. This picture is of a BAM 1020 unit. That's the BAM 1020 unit. As seen, the station consists of a vacuum pump, that's the vacuum pump, and an analyzing unit, the BAM 1020 itself, and its input sensors. These are the input sensors. The vacuum pump creates a draft of air to flow through the inlet tube. So a draft of air is created in here, in this tube. And the air is first filtered through its inlet filters, so through this filter and this filter. Then it goes through a heater which regulates the humidity of the sample. So that's the heater which regulates the humidity of the sample. And this sample is then analyzed by the dust monitor. There are many options of input to this dust monitor, namely AT, atmospheric temperature, RH, relative humidity, PM10, or PM2.5 dust inlets, PM10 real-time module, and wind sensors. The picture on the right shows the inputs connected to a walk-in shelter BAM 1020 units. This picture here shows that's the wind speed, that's the wind direction sensor, that's the PM10 inlet, that's the atmospheric temperature, and so on. List of tools and materials needed for the shutdown. Cable ties, electrical tape, gaffer tape, plastic bags, Allen keys, screwdriver, spanner, PVC cap, BAM 1020 inlet cap or rubber cap. BAM 1020 shutdown procedure. Firstly, you need to turn off the mini DAS. This is the data acquisition computer which collects and transfers data to the server. So that's the mini DAS I'm talking about. As seen in the picture, there is a small off button in the front of the panel. That's the off button here, and this is how you would turn off this mini DAS, after which we will need to isolate the power supply. In case of a walk-in shelter, there will be mains power which can be shut off using the main power switch as seen in the picture on the right. So your normal main isolators. In case of a solar setup, there are several circuit breakers and battery isolators. So these circuit breakers, they are mainly for the charge controller. So from the solar panel, this would isolate the solar panel and this would isolate the battery. So you need to switch off all the circuit breakers and then turn off the battery isolator, and that can be done by removing that battery fuse, which is this one. Now that the supply is cut off to the station, all the sensors can be removed. On the left is the PM10 and PM2.5 inlets, these two. These needs to be removed and stored in the cabinet. The middle picture is of a wind sensor which measures the wind speed and wind direction, which is this one. The wind vane is very sensitive. This part of the wind sensor is very sensitive. It's very fragile and will not be able to withstand the cyclone wind gusts. Hence, this also needs to be removed. On the right is the real-time module, which is this one. This is exactly the same as the BAM 1020 unit, but it outputs in real time. This also needs to be removed. After the sensors are removed, solar panel wiring needs to be secured. This is shown in this picture on the left hand side. The inlet tube needs to be brought down and secured to the foot of the station, which is in the middle picture. That's the inlet tube where the PM10 inlets would have been connected. That needs to be removed and put down and secured to the base or the foot of the station. If time permits, seal off the ends of the inlet tube with plastic bags. That would stop water from going in, so when we need to start the station up, we don't need to clean the inlet again. The picture on the right shows after all the sensors are removed, the atmospheric temperature sensor, which is this, is to be left intact and made sure is facing upright. This sensor has housing protecting the sensor from damage and will be able to withstand the cyclonic weather. The idea here is to make life easier after the cyclone, as more inputs removed will mean more time to restart the station. The station cabinet needs to be secured so that no water goes into the cabinet where all the sensors are kept. This is done by covering the inlet with the two possible options as seen in the first and second picture. So these are your two options of covering or securing the cabinet. The picture on the right shows how BAM 1020 unit inlet needs to be covered with a rubber cap. That's this bit here. So an overview of the training video. From this training video, you should have learned the different types of cyclone alerts, the categories of cyclone, safely shutting down dust monitors, and steps required to carry out these shutdowns. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my presentation. If you have any questions regarding my work placement or my presentation topic, please feel free to ask me. My preferred contact details is below. Thank you very much.